It doesn't make sense for you to subject an 18-year-old to 4 years of doing the same thing. And then afterwards, they leave school having nothing. But you can subject that 18-year-old who is thinking and forward thinking to 6 months of a craft. And I'm probably going to be much ahead than someone who went for a degree for 4 years. I think universities are not educational institutions. They are social institutions. The world owes you nothing as a young person. Most of us have this idea that my uncle owes me a job, my mother has connections, and you think that probably after your education that the world owes you something. The world owes you nothing. So it's up to you to work for yourself. In gambling, if you win, have you ever noticed that mse win in gambling, they want to do it more.
More and more.
And then if you lose, you still want to do more. Here's the funny thing about these betting companies. They always tell you to do what? Bet responsibly. So immediately, the fault is not theirs, it is
yours.
The companies are here. The government needs to make money, all right? They have to pay taxes.
Do you ever get men asking, who are you? Who are you to advise us on whether we should quit masturbating, betting, all these things?
Actually, let me tell you one thing. I don't care. I don't care if you think that I'm probably going to say that I'm trying to indulge. I'm pretending that I know a lot of stuff. No. I cannot sit down and watch a problem continue to be a problem, yet I can actually provide a solution. In fact, I get a lot of hate.
Hi everyone, welcome to today's episode of LNN. My name is Lynn Ngugi, and as always, I am happy that you get to tune in and watch some of these really educational and thought-provoking conversations. And once again, I cannot forget to tell you thank you for getting us to 1 million subscribers, and I'm loving the feedback that you keep sending, because I've said whether we like it or not, we must have these conversations because it's time for us to learn and relearn new things. And who else to do that with than my guest today? A lot of you have seen him on his TikTok platforms. By the way, we did film an episode a couple of months ago, but it did not go on air for personal reasons. But I'm happy to have him back so that he can be able to walk us through a lot of things that we can learn from skills acquisitions and the opportunities that are out there for young people. I hope you get to learn something, because as I said, his following is so huge and a lot of you respect his thought process. So grab your pen and paper, because we are about to learn. But before I do that, of course, allow me to say thank you so much to our amazing partners of today's conversation. So if you are watching this maybe from diaspora and you want to send money back home to your loved ones, why don't you try Tap Send? It's very fast, reliable, and they have great rates. And also by using my promo code LIN, you are able to get 10% cash back on the numbers that are appearing on your screen right now. And also to say thank you so much to Team LNN for putting this work together. Over and over, I say, you get to see me in front of this camera, but it takes an entire community to be able to put this work together. And now, of course, without further ado, please allow me to let my guest today introduce himself. Elvis.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi, what he do, what he does.
Yeah.
Hizo unajua kweli?
Hizo
one is a millennials. Like
millennials nasikianga, you have your different way of greeting. The same way we say woza, and we say...
You say what?
Oh, you've never heard of woza?
Woza.
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 Yeah.
Okay, man.
There is another one there's one in Itangwa, Godha. Godha 10. You umesikia hiyo.
That one I know. Yes. I even know the dance to that.
It's the same way you guys, when you mulikuwa mnasalimiana, there's a greeting.
What was that? Ati mambo. It used to be like this mambo for, oh my goodness. What was that?
Someone recently greeted me like that, and I actually had to first of all ask them, are you a millennial first of all? Hiyo salamu iliisha time za binti kiziwi, yeah?
Okay. You know, there's actually a very bittersweet relationship between millennials and Gen Zs.
Anyway, but you know, your mannerisms are first of all, mannerisms are millennials versus Gen Zs. Millennials have this thought like, we are adults, we know stuff. Nyinyi, wacheni kutuambia. But honestly...
But we know stuff.
Of course you know stuff.
Yeah.
But listen, some of you don't...
Don't. Go on.
Okay. To an extent,
I can take it.
This one time I sat down to debate millennials. And my oh my, Wanajua, they know their stuff very well. But they also conflict with some of the things that we do. Yeah? Like you find a young person telling you, I spend the whole day in the house and I make more money than you. But I do stuff. Yeah? So you, as a millennial, you start asking questions like, what is it that you do in that house?
Yes.
And anyway, there are things, I think it's all a stage of development and growth. And
we learn from each other.
Anyway, each generation has their own way of doing things.
Yes.
And we have to respect that.
Of course we do. But me, I really dig Gen Z's energy. I've said that over and over.
Yes.
I feel like what you guys have going on is very beautiful. Of course, kuna kwangana pros and cons to everything. But I think the whole world is also learning from this generation, which is a beautiful thing.
True.
I mean, there's actually nothing wrong with learning from someone who is younger than you. But karibu sana. Once again to LNN. Nice to see you, Tena.
Yes.
And for anyone that is tuning in maybe for the very first time and they've not seen this face somewhere, could you please introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
All right. My name is Elvis. I am a digital creator. So I create content majorly on TikTok, talking about skills, personal development. And I mostly am that guy who tells young people to learn a skill. All right. I'm in the space of trying to empower youth to think that we are beyond the job search era.
Yes.
We are now in an era where you're supposed to be thinking of what we can do. Yeah. In the past, we used to have papers and then you use these papers to get something. But now the question is, what can you do yourself? And that's why I speak about skills, personal development. I also am a voice of reason when it comes to TikTok. There are things that we have in the world today that I question a lot, especially in the areas concerning relationships, manhood. Majority of my following is men, but I also don't sideline women. It's only that I also try and talk about that. But majorly, I also talk about digital skills and digital literacy. We're in an era now that almost everything is digitized. So we have to think about how we can actually get to acquire these necessary skills and empower the youth.
Yeah.
Yes.
A few things that I wanna touch back on, especially when it comes to skills and digital, opportunities for so many young people. But I also love what you've said. You are a voice of reason.
Yes.
And congratulations on 500,000 followers on TikTok.
Yes, thank
Your
you so much.
TikTok following is so huge. And the comments, it's always the comments for me. Like people are actually, we are having a conversation on your comment section. He said that, he said this is what I feel. And you talk to young people sitting there right now. What are 3 things you would tell young people to stop doing if they want to be successful? What do you think they really need to hear? What's that thing that you really need to point out and tell them, Manze, if you don't stop doing these 3 things, no matter what you do, it's not going to be easy out there?
Well, I think the first thing I would say is the world owes you nothing as a young person. Yeah, the world owes you nothing. The point that you're at this point, Lynn, it's you're doing. And a job that you actually had to partake.
Yeah.
Most of us have this idea that my uncle owes me a job, my mother has connections, and you think that probably after your education that the world owes you something. Even for me, my brothers, I don't owe them anything. My parents, the same thing. They don't owe me anything. The world owes you nothing. So it's up to you to work for yourself. Number 2, you need to stop subscribing to traditional norms. We have this kind of normality where you have to think about how things used to work in the past, where you were told to actually get papers and start looking for a job. It's still a norm nowadays. And I think you need to first of all subscribe off that. And number 3, the thing I would say, and this one is something that we tend to have a lot, is that you're the soul, you're actually responsible for your own life. No one is coming to save you if you have a problem. Like most of the time, if you look at someone who is addicted to alcohol, especially as a young person, you're going to realize that rarely despite interventions, despite people coming to save you, at the end of the day, if you can't take responsibility of your problems, no one is going to sort that out. And if you want to have any change, no one owes you anything in the world. You're the soul, you're the one who is actually responsible for your own life. And you have to stop subscribing to traditional norms of how things were done in the past. It's not wrong for you to be forward thinking.
Not wrong.
Yes.
Let's talk about the norm, because one of the things that you have spoken about that has gained a bit of mixed reaction is university education.
Exactly.
You don't subscribe to the thought that it's a must you go to university. Actually, you say sometimes this took so much time than it needed to take. Would you walk me through that in your own words?
Yeah, actually, let me say this. And I don't hate universities, by the way. But at one point you have to be logical enough. It doesn't make sense for you to subject an 18-year-old to 4 years of doing the same thing. And then afterwards, they leave school having nothing. But you can subject that 18-year-old who is thinking and forward thinking to 6 months of a craft. Lynn, it takes it, if I came here for an internship for 6 months, I will leave knowing how to operate all these cameras, right? And I'm probably going to be much ahead than someone who went for a degree for 4 years. You see, the problem we have with education nowadays, it has become so commercialized. Commercialized in the sense that you go to school, all right, you pay large amounts of money, all right, and then you leave having nothing. So there is no return on investment. And that's why I actually question university education. I'm not saying it's wrong. And for me now, at this point, having done like complete research, I think universities are not educational institutions. They are social institutions. You go to socialize with people, to meet new people. You become social. We spend most of our time in school, not even studying. We spend most of the time socializing. Yeah, you're going to see you're going to CA, you're going to this particular event.
Yes.
It's a social institution itself. So the social construct itself in universities is meant to help you. But here's the problem. The education system has not changed, because we need to change the curriculum directly from things that were being done in 2007. How do we still bring them in today's world? But the problem is most universities are not willing and ready to change that. Why? It's going to be very expensive to change. Because a lecturer who was taught to teach something in 2008, you cannot change them now. So it's better to continue doing the same thing that was being done in the past. Because right now, I believe the first people to champion for digital literacy should be universities. They don't. I mean, every person should be going to school, and by the time you're leaving school, you've learned crafts and you've been mentored. But look at what happens. You're realizing that even top universities, you're realizing lecturers don't even attend the classes. They don't even want to teach. So why is it that then you have to go to, I'm not saying it's a waste of time, but ideally, you have to think about the cost-benefit analysis. Yeah, you spend 4 years taking a program, and realistically, you see this program, it doesn't give you any employment. And I've been taking this different approach. Instead of you quitting university, take it as an opportunity for you to socialize. It's a social construct. Yeah, go there. In as much as you're focusing on your education, network. Go get to see what people are doing. You'll actually be surprised that most of the time, someone learns something in 3 months in university and realizes, oh, kumbe, this thing is just all I need. By the time this person is leaving university, they already know what they're going to be doing. But they spend that time building networks, socializing with other people. But ideally, for me, I don't like to question universities. I only question the education model that is there. The education model in terms of, you don't need to be churning out hundreds of thousands of graduates to a world that doesn't have jobs for them.
Opportunities.
There is no opportunity for them. So how about you teach them to create opportunity for themselves? Like if you're training guys who are doing like business courses, why don't you train them on things that actually relate to today's world? Like I think curriculums like digital literacy should be among the first things to do. I was reading a post yesterday from a it was actually, I think, on Citizen, the blog your Citizen.
Yes.
And there's a university, I don't know if it's in, I don't know which country, but they've now already started offering a course on how to become an influencer. Yeah. So you can imagine that already some of the universities have started realizing that we're in a digital era, and in the next 5 years, some of the courses that we offer will actually be redundant. Now, instead of people quitting universities and saying, I'm done with all this, how about you take advantage of this particular situation and we change our curriculum? Yeah. I came with this laptop specifically because of digital literacy. Lynn, with this laptop, ukaeza niacha hapa for 2 days. Believe me, I'll have my money. Because I have, how many? I can come and create a poster for you.
Yeah.
Nikuambia, Lynn, which event are you going to? You're going to this event.
Yes.
Pay me 1,000 bob. I open Canva, nikutengeneze poster. I provide value to you and you pay me. I think that's the thinking we should be having. Instead of teaching them how to look for jobs, how about we teach them how to actually, first of all, create opportunity for themselves? Yeah. I mean, how many university students have laptops? Ni
So
wengi sana.
many. Like almost everyone.
Almost everyone. But these laptops ni za kazi gani? Assignment, projects, na kuwatch movies.
Of course.
Yeah. Where is productivity there? Like, you even realize that easy project wanafanya. You realize some of these, I've gone through some of the university projects by some students, and you realize this student was actually offering a real solution. But the university lecturer, hakupitia. These projects are the same things that universities can actually get to use, even in their research probably.
Yes.
But now the education model has become so easy. It has been commercialized. The more the number of students that you have in a school, the more money you make.
Of
right?
course.
The more funding you're going to
Of
get
course.
from government. And that's why for me, I also champion for private universities. Private universities are expensive, but they have less numbers, right? So it makes it easy for you as a parent to know that you put in your money, you will put in money to your kid going to a private university, but they will come out with value. Why? I've been approached by private universities. No public university has ever approached me. Right? In fact, mimi mwenyewe, it's like I'm the one who forces myself on public universities. Private universities will come and tell you, Elvis, we have this idea of having an extra curriculum for our students in this particular course, and we would like you to take them maybe through something like digital marketing. And automatically, that's something that is actually going to be a point to these students. So if all schools could take that approach, we would stop having, because soon enough you're going to see these universities closing down. Why? I think people have realized that. Why go to university yet I can invest? If I come here, Lynn, na nionyeshe how to use these lights, na nionyeshe hii, and I become so perfect in it, I can actually work here or even probably have a gig I'm doing on the side. That's a thought process.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know someone is already watching and they're like, oh, Elvis, tell me about these opportunities. You know, you're talking about digital marketing, you're talking about web design, and I know they can't wait to hear what you can do with this laptop, but still on how to add value to yourself as a man. You've been very outspoken, and you're challenging young men in your platform, young men that are following you, and you're telling them, you know what, man up before you can be of value to anyone, be of value to yourself, right?
Of course.
Reminds me of our good friend Aliet on what he says on Unplug. You have to be able to build that masculine, you have to be able to build yourself as a man. To the young men that you are talking to, what are the 3 things that you think are ruining their lives that they need to stop?
First thing, as most young men, is, let me say, it's drug and substance abuse. And drug and substance abuse, first of all, corrupts your brain such that you cannot reason. That's the first thing. And this one is mostly coming from peer pressure. I mean, rarely will you find a young man start taking alcohol even too.
By himself.
Someone will have mentored and probably put some pressure in him. Kumwambia, this one is good. It's good stuff you can actually try out. And then at the end of the day, why do you think we are seeing a majority of young men around here aimless? They have no focus in life, because the only thing that you have to numb your problems is drug and substance abuse. Number 2, we have we have pornography, and we also have masturbation. These are actually some of the things that are ruining the lives of most young men, because one of the most potent forms of energy is sexual energy. Now, instead of transmuting this energy into meaningful stuff, like you can tell a young man, why don't you start creating content? All right? Talk about what you do on social media. Why don't you start learning how to do coding? Why don't you learn how to actually develop websites? Why don't you learn how to do video editing and stuff? I mean, these are things that make sense. Number 3, we also have a problem when it comes to people, most of us young men, seeking relationships early. Like, I don't advocate for any young man, especially if you've just turned 18, to get into a relationship immediately. You're born with no value. And if you're born with no value, that means you have to work towards gaining value. All right? And that's why you find that most young men, the first thing they want after probably getting their ID card is to go and start doing alcohol and all these things. Afterwards, they start wanting and seeking women. Yeah. And then later on, that's why you're hearing a lot of character developments, kugongewa, because the fact that we don't have that kind of a focus that you can first improve yourself. I mean, that's the time after 18, that's the time I tell most young men. And these are mistakes I made and I learned from them. So before, maybe like if you're an 18-year-old, before you make that mistake, why don't you hear it from me? Because I believe that as a young man, 18, that is the time you should be looking for mentorship. That is the time you should be going to places and learning how to do things. Yeah? That is the time you should be focusing on improving yourself. Well, for me, when I joined university, one of the things that really helped me is that I was in a relationship here 1 week. Yeah? I was in a relationship here 1 week.
1 week?
Yes. Okay. And I remember that lady blocked me. I block you, you're looking at, hey, what has happened, bwana? What's up? You cannot see anything. Hata email yenyewe hazikuwa zinaenda. I had gotten to that kind of a desperation. And then I realized, well, this one is not something I would want. So I actually took it upon myself to say, wacha niachane na hizi story. Let me focus on what I'm supposed to be doing. Because if you focused on this other thing, why do you think you're realizing a 21-year-old man is crying on social media? Because women want men who can lead. At 21, you cannot even lead yourself. Yeah? You're leading yourself to alcoholism. How else do you think someone else is going to come and listen to you?
But what's wrong with crying? See, unatoa tu emotions.
No. That's the other problem. We are creating a bunch of effeminate men.
Ooh.
Effeminate men in the sense that when a man has problems, why sit and cry? You solve them.
So you can cry and then go and solve.
Let me tell you, you can cry by yourself, but not on social media. And you see, the more we continue to entertain that, where we tell men, oh, it's okay to let your emotions out, we are raising a bunch of weak men. Yeah? A bunch of weak men, mwanaume hata usiku yenyewe, they are afraid. You get? And this is the reason, I've been raised in Ushago. And being raised in the countryside, it's either you do or die. As a man, by the time you hit 13, your father has already built a place, Bali, especially far from your mother. Far from your mother. Ukae na uko peke yako kwa msitu. You're given a toilet. If you want food, in fact, you just ask. But uko na uko peke yako. So you can imagine at 13, that has already been your norm. Yeah? So uko na uko na umbo yako. It's a way of showing you that life is hard for you as a man. And your father is like literally they're doing something. I'm already kicking you out. Yeah? But I'm going to do it respectfully by building you a place over there. So you can imagine such a man growing up in such a manner. By the time anakuja place kama Nairobi, there's a lot they've actually gone through and they understand how to be a man. Now you can compare it with the other men when you're married. We call them Jadens. Jadens, soft guys, hawana story mingi. We can't raise such a bunch of men and continue saying that we expect good things to happen to us. You know, if you want to ruin society, ruin men. It's very easy.
Wait, what? If you want to?
If you want to ruin society, ruin men.
Wow.
Right now, if any country invaded Kenya, Lynn, utachukua bunduki uende ukapigana?
Haiwezi make sense.
Si unaambia jamaa yako, unamwambia we.
Mnanipata na hapa nyuma.
And you see, that's the kind of thing that we have to be thinking about. Like, if we continue raising this bunch of men who are addicted to these vices, like we've normalized this sherehe mantra so much, that unapata that every young man, the moment you start making a salary, umeanza kupata 50,000. Every Friday, unawakilisha, right? You do that thing for 10 years. Why do you think men are coming to Nairobi? They make good money, but 6 years down the line, they're done. Because you come, you get plenty of women, plenty of alcohol, plenty of sex. You stop using your brain properly. And when you give men plenty of everything, that's enough. They'll not sit and think. But give men problems. Like for me, I like problems, by the way. If you give me a problem, I'll have a purpose to wake up in the morning. But now, give a man 150,000 shillings and give them plenty of alcohol, give them plenty of access to men, give them plenty of access to everything. That man will never be stable. And that's why we are complaining in relationships. You marry a man who has no purpose. All right? Purpose yake ni aende kazini, arudi kwa nyumba. But marry a man who has a purpose. You realize that there is a lot you can benefit. And then, majama, we are so used to smartphones. instead of sitting and thinking how you can better your life, you're busy on TikTok. Like, I really hate it when I go to TikTok and open and see men. They are glued on a screen. Wakiwatch live ya msichana. She's saying nothing. Hakuna kitu anasema. She's just turning around and you look at the comment section unaona, unaweza fanya hivyo tena.
Tupe 360.
Hebu tufanye tena. You get? And sayo ni saa ngapi? It's 10 a.m. in the morning. So you can imagine if men are doing that. And that's why you're finding that majority of households in Nairobi, it's women who are taking care of them. People don't, majority of them, it's women who are paying rent because they're the ones who can sustain a job. You know, women are survivors. Even reading Unplugged, women are survivors. All right? And if we continue to have this kind of generation of weak men who only have, the only purpose they have is to go to the drinking den, na arudi kwa zingurumi yake, na kule miraa na alale. How else do you think we're still going to say that? We'll still continue having weird leaders in Kenya because we'll elect men who are so used to having no purpose. And that's why at the end of the day, me I say, if you want to ruin a full entire society, ruin men. It's as easy as that.
Do you ever get men asking, who are you? Who are you to talk on our behalf? Who are you to advise us on whether we should quit masturbating, betting, all these things? Do you ever get that from men, or do men come and tell you, by the way, I've thought about what you said. Sorry guys, I think I have Homer coming up. Yeah. By the way, I think I have thought about what you said, and I think there's some truth to that.
Actually, let me tell you one thing. I don't care. I don't care if you think that I'm probably going to say that I'm trying to indulge. Sijui, I'm pretending that I know a lot of stuff. No. I will not sit down. I cannot sit down and watch a problem continue to be a problem, yet I can actually provide a solution. In fact, I get a lot of hate. But let me tell you one thing. Zile vitu naona, like every day I'm getting messages. Elvis, by the way, I stopped doing this just because of you. We recently started a podcast, and we didn't have like the intention of
the
part.
Good. Well, what's the name of your co-host?
His name is Eli.
Eli, shout out, good guy. Yes.
Within a period of 1 month, we got like 3,000 subscribers.
Wow.
And there's one comment that I think is still in one of the videos. The guy said he stopped alcoholism because of what we talked about in the videos. And it was interesting to know that even with that simple video that you shoot on social media, it can change someone's life. So if you continue to think that you're not supposed to be speaking about men issues, who will? Yeah? Like I remember there's a time I used to sit and I used to wonder, can this probably put me in harm's way when I tell men to stop doing some of these things? And I realized no. The number of guys I meet and they tell me, Elvis, by the way, Lynn, you know, I've met a man and he gave me 10K.
Oh.
And niambia bro, acha nikuwekea 10K sai. I've gone to hotels and I meet guys. There's a parent I actually met. I was in their hotel. Me, I didn't know that. They follow me. So the son comes and tells me, bro, for the next 1 week, if you want to eat here, it's free. And it's all because of putting a message across. So assuming you start thinking, what will people think about me? Yeah? And at the end of the day, like if you have a solution to a problem, when you sit and you be quiet about it because you're so fearful, you've done nothing.
You're an enabler.
But if you spoke about it and helped one person out of that problem, iyo ni sawa. That is enough work. Yes.
So you don't care what anyone
thinks? I actually don't care, because one thing is, there is a problem. And if the problem, if kama ni kukuingililia nilikuwa na kuingililia, well, you're justified to tell me that najifanya mwerevu sana.
Yes.
But now if the problem is there and you can see it, I mean, how many homes have you gone and seen drunkard children who are drunkards? You go to a home, unakuta children have no, and these are men.
Good.
Yes. So why? It's a problem that is there in society. Why don't we address it? And you see, having a social media following is not your social media following. This is a community. And the community is looking to learn from you. So if you have even at least 20,000 followers, and you can even create a video and share a message across, and tell guys to stop doing something, then you're on the right path. So why will you sit and start thinking that someone is probably thinking that unajifanya unajua?
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, there are a lot of gray areas when it comes to like remote work or making money or just taking this laptop and using it to make money. And one of the questions I've seen people ask, and they are very mesmerized, is how is this person 25 driving a G-Wagon, right? And then you will see also there's a group of young people who will try to tell you this is how Forex works, but they'll never tell you how it works. They'll tell you I'm into Forex, but they will not give you the details. Someone will tell you, by the way, aviator is really good. You play aviator, chances za kuwin ni mob. First, before we go to the what you think is making legit money out there, what are the types that people have lied on that you would want people to stay away from such things? Yes, you can make money, but don't make money. This ain't gonna make you money. And there's a lie also in this.
Let me tell you, Lynn, kwanza hapa watu wananyoroshangwa online every single day. There is first of all, get rich quick schemes. And anytime I call these guys, a guy in a white suit and in a white car, they're on social media. They're always telling you about the next big thing that can make you money. That's a scammer. That's a scammer. The moment 25 years old, how much is a G-Wagon? It's an expensive vehicle, right? See, I just live within Hapa too, and I normally see them come and pick those vehicles up. It's something you see. It's a way of selling you. They're called white lies. Yeah? They want to show you something that is exquisite, and they make you think that you can actually get to achieve that. And it is a lie. The moment you hear someone telling you about making 50,000 shillings a day, doing all these mediocre stuff, and especially on Forex. Honestly, in Forex trading, we have winners and losers. In Kenya, 99% or even majority of people are losers. And that's how companies make money, by you losing. So how do we entice you to come and do Forex trading? We will look for a certain Jama who is going to be on social media showcasing this exquisite lifestyle. All right? Because people don't buy from a point of logic. They buy from a point of emotion. So ukifungua ukute mtu fulani anasema, I bought this mansion. Like you've seen them.
Yes.
21-year-old
yes.
has a mansion that is, then you wonder, how did you buy that mansion? I fell for those lies. Mi nikakuta jamaa talking about Forex trading. Kaniambia niko na hii, sijui bought, sijui nini, nunua. I bought 12,000. Then, I wondered, hii kitu haifanyi kazi. There is nothing. Went back to the guy again. Akaniambia, oh no. Just add me 8,000, nikutumia bot ya 30,000. Si nikaongeza. Then later on, I realized this guy has blocked me. So I decided to go to social media, nione what this guy has been posting. And then I did some research. You realize that we have market manipulation. And then most of us want to do this Forex trading thing without information. First of all, before you do something, you have to be educated. For you to use this laptop, you need to know how to use it. You need to first of all understand what is it. Watu wanaingia into Forex trading by the mere fact that someone on social media has told you that it makes you a lot of money. And what happens? Every youth who is unemployed wants to try that. And in fact, we even entice our parents. We tell our parents, by the way, Mom, there's this and this thing. So your mother has 1.5 million Kenya shillings in savings. She withdraws all that money, anakupatia GF4. Wow. So what happens? These Forex brokers are the ones who are making money. Yeah? And for these Forex brokers to make money, there has to be that person who is selling a lot of what? A lot of lies on social media. Sit down. Like, for example, if you're any Kenyan and you want to start learning Forex trading or whatever, I don't recommend it, personally. But if you want to start learning Forex trading, use a website like Baby Pips.
Like what?
Baby Pips.
Okay, Baby Pips.
Baby Pips. Baby, then PIPS.
Okay.
And there are people, I'm not saying that Forex is a scam or whatever, but now the people associated with Forex in Kenya are trying to show you that it's a quick way for you to make money. Right? But sasa, I don't even blame those Forex trading companies and the rest. I blame the person. Because majority of Kenyans, we are ignorant. We are ignorant, and then we don't like doing our own research. Mimi nilinyoroshwa 20,000.
Yote.
Na najua ni nini? Binary bot. Nikaambiwa sijui nikiweka binary bot niweke ni run. So I decided, let me research on this thing called binary bot. And I realized that it is even banned in the US. But developing nations, do we have frameworks and and guidelines to ban this. No?
No.
So they continue to, people lose money. And there are people who are getting rich out of it. You get? So these influencers that you see on social media saying, oh, Jehovah, you can use your laptop to make all this money. It's very common. Number 2, there is no easy way to make money online. Lynn, if you want to make money online, you have to sell a product or a service.
Good.
Period. Kuna watu, like since last year I've been tracking fake investments. There's one called BTCM. Watu waliekelea pesa, wakifikiria they can mine Bitcoin. Lynn, do you know the infrastructure that is needed to mine Bitcoin? It's millions of investment. But Kenyans thought that it's a quick way for you to make money. So they were signing up and sending hundreds of thousands to a guy. Akiwaambia, you're going to be getting a certain return. And I remember one lawyer reached out to me and I told him, listen, I'm going to send you a video on YouTube for you to see how Bitcoin mining works. And he was like, oh, this is nice. After wamekelea pesa yao, after some few days, they tried to get their money back, their profits, nowhere. And the guy came back again and told me that we have been scammed. And I asked him, why didn't you just watch that video? Kaniambia, no, you know, we were trying to make a lot of money. People are literally losing money because we are ignorant. At this point, let me tell you, me, I don't even blame scammers. I don't blame scammers. You can, right now, Lynn, you can see a scam coming. In fact, you will not even think twice. Utaona, hapa ni kunyoroshwa na nyoroshwa. But how many people will sit and say that this is a scam? Let me just pause and think.
Yeah.
Let me do my own research. People want to make quick money. Let me tell you, it is even better you take that money, go and buy chicken. Put that chicken, zikae kwa mahali, you feed them, they start laying eggs. You will have a return on investment. There is no quick and easy way to make money. In fact, take your money, go and buy a laptop. In fact, this is one of the things that government should be distributing for free. This one. You know, we have Gen Alpha.
Sasa kawa jaimpeana zile za free.
See, we soon enough, we're going to get into government. You're going to get this for free. You know, we are a young generation. These guys don't understand a thing. Yeah? When we get into government,
tutapeana.
This is what we will do.
Yeah.
Because personally for me, like I realized that you can't make change in the world if you're not the change.
True.
So, this laptop, this one, let's say you buy it at 50,000. Do you know how many things you can do with this device that can make you a decent income as compared to kuenda online kuona mtu anauza? This laptop, Lynn, you can come and tell me, uko na Facebook page. Elvis, manage that Facebook page. So what you'll be doing is that you'll be sharing posts. Unaenda unatafuta ka clip ka YouTube, unakuja unakaeka hapa. Alright? Post them for me. How much? I tell you, 12,000 per week. Right? Nimenunua laptop how much? 50K.
50.
Hata achana na 12,000. Ni kuanzia na 5,000. I'm a student. 5,000 per week. Working from Monday to Saturday saa 7. Umenipatia 5,000. And I don't have to come to your premise. In 1 month, hiyo ni pesa ngapi Lynn?
20.
That's 20,000. Miezi mbili sinishapata 40,000.
Umeshalipia.
Mwezi hiyo ingine sinishamaliza. But now, someone is going to take this laptop, sell it. Juu aliona kuna mzee anamwambia you can make 50 million in a day. Si kutoka wapi? And that's the reason as to why I always blame. I don't even blame the scammer. The culprit is you. The culprit is you because you didn't do your own research. Ukuangalia, is this thing even working? Do you know, Lynn, there are times I have a Telegram community of 45,000 members.
Wow.
Yes. So in that Telegram community, before even a scam ichomoke, I always warn my guys. Nawaambia hii kitu itawaosha. And I tell them, don't put your money here. In fact, do you know the funny thing is that it is us influencers who are instigating and promoting scams. Can you believe that? You know, as creators, we don't want to think.
Yes.
We don't want to think that I can probably, kama mimi, I can train like 50 people and charge them each 1,000. See, only 50,000.
Good money.
But now, for me, I realize that I don't want to do all this work. I'm approached by a fake company. They're called agencies. This company comes and tells me, Elvis, we want you to market this agency. Tunataka uambie watu online that waki-invest 2,000, in 2 weeks watapata 5,000. See me, I'll do that. See, they've told me they're going to pay me 150,000. I will do it. I mean, you're seeing creators every day promoting scams. Me, I see them every day. And I go and, the good thing about me is I screenshot. I take it to my Telegram community. Nawaambia huyu, stay away. Right? But the most important thing is to first of all think. We are living in a world that relies on trade. Trade is the exchange of goods or
services.
So how in the hell would you wake up in the morning, ukute some individual online, anakuambia online investment opportunity, and you buy into it? You can imagine. Na watu wananyoroshwa, watu wanaoshwa nowadays. Yes. And honestly, sometimes people are not stupid. See ati you're stupid. Mm-hmm. You're even finding graduates, mtu wako na hadi masters, aliketi chini akaandika thesis about how people are being scammed, but they've been scammed. Because you don't want to sit down and first of all investigate, is this thing legitimate? When I was in Campo, there is one ilikuwa inaitwa public likes. I remember I was this close to putting my help there. Watu walioshwa
in public likes.
Public likes. It was a fake platform where you don't know sijui, you put in money and then you get sijui gigs and then you get at the end of the week. You get paid at the end of the week. So these guys hyped it up and then collected amounts of money. Yeah. They went away with over 2 billion. But we have frameworks in Kenya that can actually regulate that. No?
Crazy.
You saw the other one who posted on Twitter akisema ati continue crying but I'm driving my Lamborghini, something like that. You see? You're scammed because of kitu ya kwanza hukaangi hivi ujiulize maswali. And hii kitu ni nini haswa? Most people don't ask that question.
And greed.
And greed. You want to make a lot of... How can you make... Like, Lynn, for you to grow a YouTube channel to an extent that you're paid in a monthly basis, it takes time.
Oh, what are you saying? Years.
Takes time.
Yep.
Kama sisi, we started a podcast recently. And I'm telling you, we are not waiting for a paycheck for the next like 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
We have to wait. You do the work until
consistently
the results. Consistently. But now, wewe umeamka asubuhi and you've gone and... Another scam that is happening in Kenya. Do you mind if I mention this?
No, I don't.
Online writing.
Online writing?
Let me tell you online writing first of all. Unajua imeenda ikididimia. When I was joining university in 2015, nilienda university inaitwa Dedan Kimathi University. And I remember online writing had started coming up. So for me, I realized that this thing, itanichanganya. Because I will start making money and I will tell my parents, staki shule. And it happened. I remember there was the guy who introduced me. I went to his hostel. Kaniambia, bro, there is this way we can actually make money. Yeah, kanionyesha writing, and I was like, nice, this is good. When I went home, nikafanya job, akanipea 300, and then the following day akanipea 1,000. I started feeling that I think I have so much money. I stopped going to classes. I love remember I'm a class representative. So kama si yuko darasa, the lecturer is going to notice. You get? After some time ya kukaa hivi nikaona, this thing is going to ruin my studies. So I stopped it.
Yeah.
How many youths have gotten into Kenya and the only thing they think about is online writing?
Many.
Because it is a quick way for you to make money. Then, there are guys who've come up with an easy way to make money. They're selling what? Online writing accounts. Kuna wenye wanauza mzuri, but majority are selling fake accounts. How much is one account going for? 50,000.
Wow.
Let's say 20,000. You buy an account, Lynn, utawaiona kazi mahali. And then they have a clever way of making sure that you blame yourself. They tell you to apply for jobs. Wao wenyewe ndo wana control the jobs in that website. You get me?
Yeah.
So wewe unafikiria you're applying for a job in the UK.
Na hapa tu.
Ni mtu tu ako huku tu anafinya tap tengere what sijui all that thing. Uki apply, it's revoked.
Yeah.
Sijui then kidogo your account has been banned. And then they send you a very good email. Breach. Si utaona wewe ndio umefanya makosa.
Yep.
Do you know how many people are losing money to that? Kwanza watu wenye I've said earlier, I don't blame scammers. Scammers yao is coming. DCI headquarters iko hapa Kiambu. And you will have your day. But now I blame this person. 20,000, Lynn. How many chicken can it buy?
So many.
Umenunua kuku. Hata you don't even need to put them in Nairobi. Peleka ushago. Ambia madhe, hizi kuku niangalili. Nitakuwa na kutumia 1,000 per week for
chakula.
Right? Si home left.
Yes.
3 months or 6 months down the line, si zinaweza taga mayai.
Yep.
Let's say you have 30 of them. 30 of them, and let's say you have like 20 of them laying every day. 20 times, let's say 30 eggs.
Yes.
30 days. That's 600 eggs.
Yeah.
If you sell one egg at 10 bob, it's only 6,000.
6,000.
But you see, majority of us want that easy way to get rich.
Quick money.
There's another big problem here. If you're a young person and you get rich so fast, especially like ukiwa 27, you become complacent.
Really?
Watu wengi, why do you think unakuta a young man has been employed in a job, amepewa 600,000, ameshtuka kwanza. 600,000 in Nairobi. This guy is allowed to live in a house ya 150,000. Some of them, most of them, I know quite a number because I've seen data scientists move from grass to grass. No. Because umegongwa 600,000, right? You have a vehicle. What stops you from enjoying all these women in Nairobi? Right? What stops you from buying this expensive alcohol? Nothing. Yeah? So what happens later on? After umekaka kidogo kidogo hivi, you start losing your money. You lose all your money. You start not working efficiently, and then you're fired. How long is it going to take you to recover?
Not long.
And that's why I'm saying that it's hard for you as a young person, especially for men. Women have a way with money. Mwanamke unaweza ona amefanya kakitu. And that's why you're finding that even most traditional African households nowadays, there is a matriarchy. There's a woman who is taking care of the extended. Because wanaume walikunywa pombe, they enter. That's the problem. You get so much money when you're young, you get confused. Yeah? You don't know where to. All women want you now because you have the money.
Of course.
So you think that, I deserve it. You enjoy yourself. Wacha ipote. So you can imagine you're 27, you've taken 3 years to your downfall. How long is it going to take you to go back?
That is if it ever happens again.
Na sasa kuongezea zaidi, umeoshwa online. You had some savings, uliekelea zote ukapeleka?
Online.
Nenda.
Aviator ni nini mbaya nayo?
Me, aviator, I don't even want to touch it. But let me tell you, do you know, I've seen boda guys making 1,000 shillings. Jioni anaenda anaekelea aviator, almost yote. Here's the funny thing about these betting companies. They always tell you to do what? Bet responsibly. So immediately, the fault is not theirs, it is?
Yours. The disclaimer is already there. Bet.
The companies are here. The government needs to make money. All right? They have to pay taxes. People want to get rich quick. All right? And the mainstream media has made it so easy for you to think that you can get rich quick haraka sana. Look at the advertising yenye iko siku hizi. Huyu alishinda 1 million Kenya shillings. In fact, even celebrities are even doing it. You see, Lynn, for you, you've done something good for yourself. Most celebrities from kitambo, they built nothing. Kazi yao ilikuwa wanapewa brand endorsement, they drink that money, or they do sherehes. Now, wako in their stage where they are very old, they have no money, they have no skills, they cannot work a corporate job, right? Majority of them. Angalia, why do you think mbona tunawachangia pesa? Si ni wengi sana wanachangia pesa?
Yep.
Why do you think huyu mtu akiambiwa promote aviator, will he say no?
No.
She will not say no. Tasema leta hiyo gig.
Yes.
I'm very broke. I have bills to pay. My children
I need the money.
Then ataenda online aseme ati niliekelea pesa fulani aviator and I made this. They even attach receipts, which is fake. You get? And that's the problem with institutionalizing a society to thinking that the only thing you need in life is a job. First world countries are thinking about how people can learn crafts. And it's like you go to some countries and you hear things like aviator, they're illegal there. Then you wonder, what is the problem with Africa? The problem is Africans ourselves, first of all. Because in betting, there's a saying, it might be true, it might be false, depending on your perspective. the house always wins. It is very hard for you to hear a betting company has closed. But it is very easy for you to hear a startup has closed.
True. Oh.
So deal.
Yep.
But now, what these companies do is that they prey on the gullibility and the greed of Africans. We are sold this image of how you can buy a car within a day. You're told, ukiekelea 100 bob, you have the chance of flying that thing, kinda, multiplier. You forget that is a computer program that was created by someone, right? If it was created by someone else, a higher being, then that would make sense. But you think I created that system for you to make money? No.
I need to make
money
fast and good money.
But the thing is, I'm fully legal. I've told you to do what? Bet responsibly. Same thing as we say, drink responsibly. So you can imagine. How many youth, and you see we don't even read terms and conditions, we don't read instructions, we don't even read. We have something, attention deficit something, yeah? We don't want something that is going to take us a lot of time to think and read about. The last time I tried betting was in 2018. In 2018, Lynn, I was just about to graduate. Nikatumiwa 2,500 by my mother. She told me to pay the rent ya nyumba yangu. I was living in a single room. She sent me 2,500. You know what I did, Lynn? Nilichukua 1,600, nikaenda nikafanya live bet.
Kaekelea.
Nikasema over 2.5 na nikatembea na ngoja nione message sasa. I come back in the house. Pesa yangu
enda.
I stayed for 2-3 hours without talking to anyone. Then I started doing some research on gambling and betting. There is a hormone called dopamine. In gambling, if you win, have you ever noticed that mse win in gambling, they want to do it more.
More and more.
And then if you lose, you still want to do more.
Ndio uone maybe itakuwa sawa.
That is when I started immersing myself in human psychology. How companies take advantage of you as a human being to make money from you. The companies have no problem. It is you who doesn't have the ability to control your emotions.
Yes.
And having a thought perspective of kitu haifanyi kazi. And that's why a lot of us are now thinking that the only solution we have today is to go to betting companies. How many people do you hear making 300 shillings and then anachukua yote, anaenda?
Naekelea bet.
The moment you lose that bet, the government has made some money, right? But you've lost.
The betting company has made money.
It has made money. You get? Well, you're creating opportunity for other people. And that is why you realize that in as much as we're in an economy that is rough, there are winners and there are losers. Yeah? Majority of us are losers. Because we don't know that wealth is built gradually. You cannot wake up in the morning and manifest a company. Like I was seeing guys doing wakifanya hesabu, how much it's a TX. A TX is going to probably cost you like 7 million. Roughly. Sijui mimi mtu wa tugari tudogo. 7 million. 7 million, kijana wa 21 years is thinking of venye ata bet. Alright? Apate hiyo pesa anunue hiyo gari. And they keep doing that for a whole year. I told that guy, fanya aje, get your M-Pesa statement. Fungua nikuonyeshe. Tulihesabu zote. That guy had lost 112,000 in a full year. Kuna mahali alipwa 5,000, he took 3,500 akaekelea. Alienda akapewa mshahara ya 40,000, akachukua almost half.
Kaekelea.
I told the guy, if you want to solve this problem, first of all, the first thing you need, chukua kabambe. That guy stayed with a kabambe for a full month. And by then, we were just talking about gambling. Namwambia tu hizi vitu zitakuharibu. And by the time he was done with all that, I told him, sasa kuja nikufunze how to design websites. And I told him, nitakufunza how to design logos. It was so boring for him. Because haina ile instant gratification. The guy had to learn for like 6 months. He was dedicated. And right now he's ahead.
Wow.
It's good. Now, that's where I tell guys, achana history ya kufikiria instant gratification. Take some time, invest in yourself. Lynn, A video editor is going to compose all these entire video. Do you know how many professional video editors we have in Kenya? Very few. Very few. Even you, like right now, if you are looking for a professional video editor, you will struggle. But enda useme, you're looking for someone who has a BCom degree. I swear Lynn wataja hapa.
Wengi wataja.
Watapanga line huko hadi useme, hey, ni hivyo.
Ni hivyo.
You get? Kenya right now, go and say that you're looking for a professional full stack web developer. Now uitishe portfolio, evidence. You will not see it. Why? Because most of us have the idea that things come easy. They don't. I believe kuna watu wamekuja kwako wakakuambia, Lynn, tunataka kufungua YouTube channel. Right?
Yep.
But they don't know
the
work that is done. It looks easy.
The hard truth.
Like Sai, I'm probably very sure you woke up so early in the morning.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And you have more guests
coming
in. Right? Who is willing and ready to sacrifice to do something like that and not get instant results?
Very few. It's
the same case you hear most guys, like right now, I tell every young person, opportunities within us. We achana na aviator. Yeah? It's hard to convince an entire generation to stop aviator, but over time, they will stop. That's the thing. These companies are making money. You're losing money, right? Rarely will you hear someone akisema ati nimejenga hii nyumba yangu na betting.
Na aviator.
Nimejenga hii nyumba yangu.
Nimebai shamba, nimenunua gari.
You get? That's why I was saying we have an ignorant society. Right now we have ChatGPT. ChatGPT ukienda tu ufanye ta. What are the problems that come with this? You will get an entire list of things. An example is the same thing I always recommend. YouTube. Like this show of yours is going to be on YouTube, right? That's a full pack of information. But nowadays, hakuna mtu anataka kuwatch kitu ya more than 30 seconds. So how do you expect that you're going to immerse yourself in a world of helping yourself? Kama huwezi kaa tu hivi and give yourself some time to learn something that is going to help you. We have the internet. In fact, internet penetration in Kenya is so good. Very good to an extent that you realize that almost everywhere sahi ukienda unakuta internet. Like hata you can even do a meeting virtually anywhere. Very easily. But the very simple thing is, instead of taking advantage of this, people now use it for doing other mediocre things. Pornography is vitu zingine. Yet, you can go to some online platforms and you learn. Like for me, I always insist, especially for students and anyone else, hata kama umegraduate, we have platforms like Udemy.
Like you?
Udemy. Yes. Even parents should be listening to this. We have platforms like Udemy. When your child goes to university, si ati kazi yako kama mzazi imeisha. I have parents who follow me. I have a parent who is a full lecturer. And he's telling me that anajua mtoto wake akimaliza shule, they will have no job. But the child is taking computer science. So we started with like an entire blueprint. Tukasema, we will start by learning some basic digital skills. I think that kid is supposed to graduate, I don't know if it's 2025 or 2026, but atakuwa mbele. Because the parent said, how much is a Udemy course? In fact, they are very cheap. Unaweza nunua hadi na 2,000. And it's 2,000. Enda ukasome. As long as you're willing and ready to go and study. That's the power of the internet.
The
willingness.
Your ability to want to develop yourself skill set wise.
Self-drive. Many of us lack self-drive. You know, I normally, there is someone who was saying that we have employees and then we have exceptional employees. Ebu imagine you have an employee, Lynn, anaingianga job mbele yako, yeah? Anakuja ana set up easy lights, ana set up kila kitu hapa, yeah? Ana make sure everything is in order. When you get here, you don't even have to say a word. Then that employee comes and tells you they are leaving. Utamwambia unataka nifanye nini sahi nikuwekele pesa? The self-drive in that person is much more important than the papers that they have.
Absolutely.
That's an asset. How many people are willing to get themselves into that kind of a level? Kuna mtu umeemploy probably, and they do the job they are supposed to do. The job.
Bare minimum.
Si unanilipa 10K hii kazi?
Hiyo ndio nakufanyia.
I was working in a cyber cafe in 2017 during the elections. Tulikuwa holiday from Jan to April. I was employed to do what? To work in a cyber cafe. I started doing graphic design. kufanya tu posters nini. And the lady there aliniongezea mshahara. I was getting 8,000. It got to a point I was almost getting like 13,000. And I'm still a student. Yeah? Just because of now going an extra mile. That's where we have a problem with majority of us young people. First of all, we like, kuna ile inaitangwa, we listen to instruction, but we don't want to instruct ourselves. Kama umeniambia niweke maji hapa, nimeweka. I took my car to a car wash recently. I met a young person. Gari ilikuwa imeguzwa tu na karangi tu kidogo tu. Very small paint. You know, that guy said, sijamlipa kuosha hiyo. And you know, it takes what? Kitambaa tu, apanguze tu hivyo. But hajalipwa kufanya hiyo. How else do you think you're going to get clients if that's how you think?
You won't even retain clients because I'm sure you're never going back there.
No, I will never go back there again. And I think we need to have that thought perspective. And I'll say this honestly. And this is one thing that people have to learn. You have to take responsibility of your life.
Good.
You have to take especially for young people because they're the ones who listen to me. Responsibility of your life means that first of all, you understand that ni wewe, hakuna mtu mwingine. Responsibility means that you know what you should do for your own life. You cannot be sitting down complaining and whining that the government sijui nini. The government is there to maintain law and order. What are you doing for yourself? I mean, we have smartphones. We use these smartphones to scroll social media. Lynn, if I buy this smartphone, naiwezi nirudishia pesa.
Yep.
Cha nirudishe kwa duka. If I buy this laptop and I cannot use it to make money, wacha ikae. In fact, it has gotten to an extent that I buy clothes because of the utility they have for me. Si nivae nikae poa.
Me, I stopped.
Mimi, in fact, when I'm in my factory data reset, hata wezi amini ni mimi. Because we don't want to, like there's a thing I say that, yes, you can dress for the occasion, right? But is it mandatory that you dress for every occasion that comes your way that costs you money?
And you can still recycle the same clothes for different occasions.
Kuna mtu wako na kadress kanafikanga hapa, ka 50,000, ni kasherehe. There's a guy who has a 50,000 Kenyan shilling suit. Hiyo inavali yangu tu saa yenye anaenda kutafuta deal.
There.
You see?
Jipange.
Take responsibility of your life. And one of the things I will frankly tell you is that skills and crafts, that is where we are headed. Lynn, the alpha generation, you're going to be having a bunch of you young people in the next few years who know stuff. You see the kids we have right now, 10, 12 years from now, they're the ones who are going to occupy offices. Do you know, I was shocked to see a video of a kid from a certain school on TikTok. Anajifunza how to use Canva. These are things we should have learned when we were in school.
They're even coding.
Wewe utakuwa unasikia mtoto wako analeta 1 million Kenya shillings as a salary and you're struggling to get 30,000 from a certain scammer online mwenye alikwambia nini. You get? Because now we've gotten to a point where now we have to really empower these kids to understand that you're paid for the value that you provide. And that's where skills and crafts come in. Lynn, do you know kuna mtu hajui hata change? There are some people who have problems with even changing a bulb. You see, basic things. Basic simple crafts. There are people who don't know how to do that. I'm not saying it's wrong for you. Like kuna vitu zingine, they are basic. You need to think about understanding how to do those things. And that's where I speak about skills and crafts. Skills and crafts. We have digital literacy, we have technical skills. All these things. Yeah? Like recently, Khalif Cairo was here. Very good in digital marketing. Do you know a skill like digital marketing? Hata wewe, you need a digital marketer. Everyone who is running a business, they need a digital marketer. In digital marketing, you can do social media management, social media marketing, search engine marketing. You can do web design, graphic design. That's a full stack of skills. Mingi hivi. Every business in Nairobi today, majority of businesses are now going online. So what do they need? They need someone to help them penetrate that online market.
Yes.
So you can imagine you've equipped yourself with these specific skills. I do digital marketing myself. And sometimes na receiving paycheck, I'm like, hey, okay. Juu tu nilikuja nikakusaidia kufungua TikTok.
Yep.
Tukatengeneza videos.
Kakupangia vizuri.
Now you're giving me a salary of 60,000 a month. And it is constant. What if you only had 3 clients? You don't even need 50. You need
just
3.
need actually 3 or 4.
And this is Nairobi. There is opportunity for growth. Skills and crafts. Learn how to develop websites. I mean, Africa is the future. There's a book called Why Africa is Poor.
Yes.
And the reason why Africa is poor is, first of all, our leadership. We have self-centered leaders. We like to call them stupid guys in suits. I'm sorry for using that. I don't know if it sounds nice.
Yeah.
But what they have is they like to look smart, but they don't speak smart.
Of course.
Why do you think they were sleeping in Senate? Do you think they have anything to say? You listen to some of them and you realize, isipokuwa tu ni suti, if you were naked, we would stone you.
I saw.
You get? We have a leadership problem. But despite having a leadership problem, do we sit down and say that it's done?
No.
In 2025, 1 in every 5 youth in the world is actually going to be from Africa.
Yep.
1 in every 5. Africa has a sufficient labor source of young people. But what have we done with the young people? The leadership that is here is the one that is instigating betting companies to come. Is the one that is bringing in all these vices. Yeah? How do you expect you're going to be productive if we inflict all this on young people?
That's so sad, actually.
Instead of investing money and putting money in changing an education system in university, it is easier to sit down and discuss an impeachment. I mean, the first thing that, first of all, I would really advocate for is the development and really the empowerment of TVET institutions, not universities, TVET institutions. The first leading institution that should be changed is the Technical University of Kenya, TUK. That one should be the streamlining platform for technical skills. In fact, that university itself should first of all think about introducing digital literacy programs, technical. Because let me tell you, gone are the days, you see these top universities that we have in Kenya, don't even take your kid there.
True.
Why? You see, a university like Technical University can set the pace for other universities. Introducing technical skills, artificial intelligence. We have computer literacy. Do you know there's someone who probably has a laptop, anajuanga tu kukuja, afungue, aeke password, atume email, and they're done. Yet this thing costs like 170,000. This thing is an investment if you're a person who knows business properly. These universities should invest in, first of all, you don't even need expensive infrastructure. You don't even need to be constructing 50 million, 500 million Kenya shillings buildings. No. Take this money, incentivize students to buy laptops. Then each and every university should have a hub. Let's call it a hub, which is a co-working space. Now, how many buildings do you see in the universities that are vacant?
Many.
A university, like what are universities doing building science parks? Science parks for what? Now, watu wenye wanasoma huko, they don't even get the job. Why are you building a science park? They should be building rooms that enable the social structure of universities. A university like TUK should be putting in place frameworks and infrastructure to allow young people to come, take a laptop, get high-speed internet, and learn things like artificial intelligence. I mean, artificial intelligence is so wide.
Yes.
Are you telling me that if we empowered the youth to do that, do you know, right now, I have youth who are developing an artificial intelligence bot for me. And I have to pay them on a monthly basis. And it's in Kenya. Does the government know that? County governments can streamline their operations and work efficiently and effectively by implementing technology. Do they know that? Look at the leadership. Do they think of that? Wao tu ni siasa tu. Na Murima na all these things.
Yeah.
The leadership problem that we have trickles down all the way to us. And that's why you find that now it's easy for me to go to a private university and pitch an idea to them and they take it. Because it's like instant. Hawa lazima iende sijui Ministry of Education. And then when they get to the Ministry of Education, there is someone who is thinking that, first of all, they have to make money from it before it's implemented. You get? Technical University, let me go back there. And if you're listening to me, change your curriculum to technical skills. And these are rapid skills, rapid digital skills. Empower your young people to learn how to develop websites. Go tell them how to use, like this smartphone can manage social media.
Yes.
Right? Why don't you teach them how to, first of all, manage social media effectively? Why don't you introduce classes on personal branding? And tell these young people, instead of taking your CV na kukimbia kila mahali, go create TikTok account, Instagram account, Facebook page, LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
Start talking about you as a person. Teach them how to develop mobile applications. Teach them how to do video editing. Teach them how to take very good photos. Teach them how to do stuff that makes sense in the economy. Make them productive. A productive society is a rich society.
Yes.
Because we're always going to be seeking ways to actually make things work easier for us. When countries are implementing artificial intelligence when it comes to traffic and everything, sisi tuko tu hapa tunalia kanjo. But why? Because the leaders up there, they still know they make money from this kanjo stuff. Their mentality is like, we have to make money.
Yeah.
You can see the problems that we have in Kenya. We have people who think about now, not the future.
Now.
Sai napewa ngapi? Ati unanipea ngapi? And you see, there is something, it's what goes around comes around. Right? Whatever you do as a leader. Like there are people we talk about till today.
Yeah.
Mwai Kibaki.
I was gonna talk about him right now.
If Mwai Kibaki was alive today, he would go nuts with what we are seeing today. I mean, it's very easy, Lynn, it's very, very easy for the government to implement things that help the youth. But the problem we have is leaders. The leaders are the ones we have as a problem.
Good.
Because the leaders, wanafikiria, a governor gets into barely 2 years down the line is a billionaire. Yet this money, do you know how much it costs to build a very simple co-working space with a high-speed internet for every constituency? You only need to build a co-working space that can hold like 100 or 200 youth.
Yeah.
All right? Tell them now, get money and buy laptops. Come here, access internet for free. All right?
Yes.
Partner with institutions, global institutions, that can actually bring in, and its education nowadays has become so cheap.
Why is that so hard for them to do, by the way?
It's because if I can't make money from it, it's never going to see the light of day. It is better, mukae bila, lakini mimi ni
also, it's pesa. Not in their interest to empower you.
But anyway, we have to empower ourselves regardless. That's why I tell youth, take advantage of YouTube. Go learn a skill, build a personal brand, start talking about your services, make yourself known for something. Nairobi, there are people who need your services.
Yes.
Let me tell you, Nairobi has opportunity.
So many. And
it's not opportunity to make you a lot of money. It's opportunity to grow you as a person. Rome was not built in a day. Like I normally tell people, for me, Nairobi opened my eyes. What do you mean, nimetoka Nyeri? Nyeri is a bit backward. But when you get to Nairobi and see the opportunity that is there, especially with the digital space. Nairobi usiku unaona mtu anakutext, Elvis, I'm looking for a website. How much? 80,000. Can we meet tomorrow? Munapatana. Yeah? And you don't even have an office.
Wow.
I don't have an office. I don't have... Nitaenda tu, nitachukua Uber, nitachukua matatu, tupatane kwa mall, tuongea about the project, you pay me. If I was to get like 2 clients a month.
Done deal.
Si uko sawa? Why then should we not be empowering our youth? And that's why for me, I took it upon myself. I'll not complain about the problem that is there.
Good.
I'll complain about policy, yes. But I'll not complain about the problem when I have a solution. So I started using my social media platform itself to talk about things that make sense. Lynn, I've literally approached universities. I've literally tried to tell these people, by the way, why don't you just do something very simple? You have the resources. Change your structures to make it easy for youth to access digital skills. You honestly, you're a professor in this thing. We mwenyewe ukafutwa hii kazi. Iyo juwe ni professor wa BCom. Will you get a job again from BCom? Si utarudi tu kufunza.
Yeah.
The same thing that is not making sense in the world.
Yeah.
Why then do you continue teaching it? And you see, it's a point where we have to sit down and say that now enough is enough. if I was to be like, to change the education curriculum, we should really sensitize on the importance of crafts and skills. Now, let me tell you, a craft is not so easy to learn. That's why the people who know how to do something, they always make the money.
Yep.
Yeah, we have very many engineers in Kenya, wengi sana, but they're engineers by merit, not by craft or skill. Juu uko na karatasi. But how many of them are building roads?
Very few.
That's the kind of perspective we have to put on, like, thinking. We think solutions, bring in solutions. I approached a client the other day, nikamwambia, you run a garage in Karen. I'll do a digital marketing overhaul for you. Nikusaidie, I'll create your website, I'll do all this. The client agreed. Tukafanya kazi mwezi ya kwanza and it worked. Akaniambia, sawa, sasa niambia, kila mwezi ngapi? 80. You get? I don't have an office. I don't have an office. I'm just a young person.
With a laptop.
With a laptop.
And a phone.
And a phone, na two headphones labda tu, kae, ukiwa kwa matatu usikize music. You get? But you make your bread and butter. You get? And that's why, like, for me, I always insist on youth. Especially masaa ya jioni. Unajua majioni, that is when we waste most of the time. Every evening, spend that time to improve your life. Don't watch a movie, don't even watch debates online. Leave them. Don't even scroll Twitter. Go to YouTube. Fungua YouTube. Go look for a YouTube channel called Free Code Camp. There's another YouTube channel I like listening to. It motivates me. Inaitwa elax.com.
Yes.
Elax.com is, it's dubbed where future billionaires come to, something like that. So I go and learn new things. I like to know what the rich people do, wealthy people do.
Yeah.
And you realize that kumbe it's not that hard. Information, first of all, is power. But most of the information that we are looking for is online. Iko online, imejaa huko. Free. Kwani ChatGPT ukifungua tu useme, what is the composition? You get the answer over there. Like if you're looking for if you want to solve a problem, tap, tengerezi, all those things. Yes. But I also want to demystify something about self-development and personal improvement, that you have to be willing to pay a price. Mimi before nipate job yangu ya kwanza ya web design, it took me like 9 months. And you see, in those 9 months, I was just like perfecting my craft. Yeah? And then there's a lady called Trophy Kiprono. She was here, Pia. Oh, Trophy was here. Trophy. Her episode airs tomorrow. Yes. Trophy, I like, she talks about public speaking a lot. And it's very good stuff. I follow her almost everywhere. She's good, people. Yes. So there is something she speaks about communication skills. Yeah. You know, these are soft skills. Lynn, kuna mtu tu Kenya, hana skill yote, but they speak so well. They have critical thinking skills. And then we have leadership skills. Yes. You see, soft skills. And these ones should be nurtured when we are young. That's why you're finding nowadays, Gen Alpha is very confident. Juu wanafunzwa how to speak. Like I was listening, how they spell words, and you're like, kwani ina spell, it builds, first of all, their ability to speak. And your ability to speak, especially in Kenya, and uongeze labda wewe ni developer. Kuisha. Na uongeze you're very good in thinking, and you're a leader. Yeah. Every single, like nowadays, I don't think even companies are hiring because of your papers. I recently, I was scrolling through a certain website, jobs, and I saw that kuangalia everything else, nilikuta certificate imewekwa hapo chini imesemwa, not. First skill is you need to have a technical skill, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and you need to understand frameworks like Node.js. Next thing, soft skills. Next thing, communication skills. Next thing, you need to have a portfolio. And then probably hapo, another advantage would be a diploma or a certificate in any. Na si lazima. Wow. Guys are getting jobs just by the mere fact that they have a skill set that sets them ahead. Lynn, nikuja hapo umenitisha certificate? Nope. Just probably because you see me on social media. Yep. And you see, no one limits you from using TikTok. Si uko na ID? Yep. You have a ring light? Yep. Shoot the videos. Build yourself. Build your brand. Self-improvement, but it takes time.
And also, as you've said, there's a price.
Oh, there's a price.
Because you won't watch movies the way you think you can, you know. And I feel like you've said something important. You know, one day I went at, I think it's Westgate. I can't quite remember, but there's a bookstore at Westgate Mall. Opposite Grill Shack, there has to be a bookstore. And that guy is a fan of our work. So I went there to look for a book. And so I think we were talking about a certain book I wanted. No, a book I was looking for. It was there and I was like, have you read this? It's David Goggins, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, have you read this? It's so good. He said, yes, Lynn, I've read it. It's amazing. Then there was another book there that was not, it's like past or something. Have you read this? How is it? There's a book I wanted. And he said, I don't know, because nowadays I feel like I just read what is going to help me develop myself as a person. That book for David Goggins, it helps you with your mental. Yeah, you can't. You know, it helps you with your mental toughness. So he was telling me, he's now about things that are going to help him develop. So even if there's a book about the past he might want to read, but he will only read if he needs to develop his history, knowledge or something. But right now, he's committed to reading anything that helps him develop his mental toughness or around the same thing. So I feel it's very important, even if you're watching series or you're watching movies, you need to be very intentional with, why am I watching this? There's those you'll watch for leisure, but they can't outweigh the ones that are going to help you develop as a person.
Reading books is good, by the way. It's very good.
Yeah.
Actually, sometimes I always like to carry a book. Yeah. And by the way, books can really help you.
Yeah.
A point in case, I went to a bookshop in in Two Rivers.
Yeah.
Kuna ka kitabu niliona ka NTSA kadogo hivi. It lists out all the offenses that you can, traffic offenses in Kenya. So I was reading that book, nikasoma, and I was shocked to realize that there are so many traffic offenses. Juzi, nimepita wrong side kwa barabara. So the lady who arrested me tukaenda station. Akaniambia what I'm supposed to, there is a fine obviously for that.
Yeah.
So nikatoa ka kitabu, nikamwambia hebu kwanza wacha nisome ni confirm. Nikaona, oh my God, it is true. And you know, I had not read that offense, like sikuwa nimesoma, but she was telling me this is what I pled. Nikajiombea, but if I had only read,
yes,
you know, ile like you see an intersection, haina traffic nini, so
apenya.
Nikaona a lady has come and told me, wewe. And the funny thing is that she knew me.
Yes.
So
Ambia Elvis wewe.
Wewe.
Tuende.
So I went. Anyway, reading a book and getting information is quite good.
It's very good.
The last book I ever read was, nilikaa before nisome vitabu. The last book I ever read was a book tulikuwa tunafanya as a set book. Ya Koko. I don't know, is it The River and the Source?
Okay.
The River by
The River and
The
the
River
Source.
and the Source by Magdalene is Ogola.
Yeah.
Margaret Ogola. That was the last book I had read. In a period like, na hiyo in 2014. The next book I touched was in 2020. And I was reading a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. By then I was after a heartbreak. No. Sa hiyo, you know, we wait till trouble comes knocking
Ndio
away.
ujifambe.
So ndio nasoma kitabu, I'm like, ala. Then every month I decided that I'm going to be reading a new book. Then I remember the last time I was here, nilikuta mkisoma Unplugged.
Yes.
I went and got the first Unplugged. Nilisoma, I think, was around 50 pages within the first read. And I was literally, unaona ile you are hooked. You're like,
yep.
Kwani hizi vitu zote? How come? It's like the author is speaking to me.
You.
You get? Like, people document their experiences. They can create videos, yes. But they document their experiences and lessons in books.
In books. Very much recommended. Ulipenda Unplugged?
Nilipenda sana. I went to read another book ilikuwa inaitwa Atomic Habits by James Clear.
Good book.
I was reading it and it was saying that it's the very simple tiny habits consistently put towards your life that actually lead to results later on.
Yep.
And you can form good habits and bad habits.
Yep.
slowly.
Yep.
You start smoking by doing karatasi. After umekohoa unasema, acha nikunywe maji.
Then unarudia tena.
So by the time you're doing 2 years, you're now
good.
smoking a full pack in a day.
A pro.
At the same time, like I used to have a problem with smartphone addiction.
Yes.
Lynn, that one is another problem. I was reading the same book on habits. And there's this step-by-step way of actually leading to a habit, becoming a habit. So like, have you ever realized that people are addicted to their smartphones?
Yes, of course.
Kuna mtu mwingine labda tangu akuja hapa, angekuwa ameangalia simu yake mara kama 5.
Yeah.
We are so disoriented that we don't know what to focus on and concentrate on. Smartphone addiction is another big problem. And that was the reason I was reading the book Atomic Habits. Nikisoma kitabu, I'm reading it and I'm like, hala, kumbe it's so easy to actually solve a problem. I realized the problem was I was going with my phone to my bedroom. So now instead of sleeping in the bedroom, nimeenda kuscroll. I tell you, the first thing, you're trying to eliminate a trigger.
Yeah.
When you put your phone on the bedside, ukikosa usingizi, you'll take it. But if you leave it in the sitting room and you lock your bedroom, right, it's going to be a hard work for you to go and take it and come back. So you stay there with your demons until you sleep. And I tried it, it worked. Books are an easy way for you to get information and mentorship.
And train your mind.
Like there are things I never used to know. And I just learned them from books. There's a book I read. It's called Millionaire Fastlane by a guy called MJ DeMarco. I would write. Maybe you read that book.
I haven't read that one actually.
It's called Millionaire Fastlane.
Yeah.
It explains how people actually, we have the side lane, slow lane, and the fast lane. The way of actually getting to make a decent income is really about problem solving. And the author tries to tell people that if you're able to solve a problem, start a business, you can easily get to make money in a fast lane. He has commandments on basically how you can make money. And it's called Next. It's a commandment of need. Is there a problem? Entry. Can you enter? Are there any barriers? Like kaza hii kufungua YouTube channel, there are a lot of barriers into entry. Then we have control. Do you have control over that specific business that you're starting? Ama you'll start fighting with your partners.
Yeah.
Then you have the ability to scale, right? Is this thing, can it get you to a point where you can scale up? Then you have time.
Yeah.
How much time do you have? Are you going to be in the same business for 25 years? It's a book that really opens your mind.
Yes.
And that is when I realized, Allah, it's good. We also have very good upcoming books. Like there's a book I was reading the other day. Nowadays you can run a company all by yourself. Yep. It's called Company of One.
Company of One.
It's called by a guy called Paul Jarvis. It's a book that tries to explain that with the current digital revolution that we have, it's so easy for you to have a business that makes you so much money with reduced labor, reduced costs, and complete application of technology. Artificial intelligence has saved a lot. We can use it and bring it into our business. Lynn, kama zai, if I wanted to write a social media post, it should not take me more than 1 minute.
Yep.
Right? So that means that I can do like 5 posts a day.
Yep.
That means I can actually grow so fast.
Yep.
But how many people are doing that?
Less.
I learned that from a book.
That one is out already? The Company of One?
Yeah, it's already. I actually got it from Textbook Center.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's a good book. You should read it.
That I have to
get. You should read it. This, like anytime, I also try and embrace solitude.
Yes. A lot.
Yes.
A lot.
You need to learn to be alone. That's one thing.
Yep.
Sometimes, even if you don't want to be in your house,
enda tu kwa nyumba yako.
Kaa kwa nyumba yako. Stay there. Fight your demons in your house. Stay with them. That's something. And if you want to fight your demons better, fight them with a book. There's a time I was reading another book. What was the name of this book? I've read the 48 Laws of Power, and I continue reading it. And I like rereading it.
Yes.
Because in a way, books are a way of telling you, you didn't know this, now you know. And it's part of your self-improvement.
Yes.
We are here in a world that it's easy for you to access books digitally. Yeah. However, for me, I recommend you get physical books.
Me too. I think it depends. If you are used to soft, you'll be good. But if your entry was hard copies, I tried soft. I was like, no, I have to hold it. I have to mark it. Maybe millennial problems, but I think I am still a hard copy girl.
Me, the problem is with soft copies is distractions.
I feel so. Plus, I have to be with my phone or my laptop, or it's
Exactly.
too much.
But now with a book, with a physical book, it's so easy for you.
So easy.
Yes.
All right. Before maybe I let you go, obviously I know I can talk to you for like the whole day. But before I let you go, what's one thing you would want anyone that is watching this to take from this conversation?
Anyone watching this conversation is, first of all, we are in a point where it's your life. That's why it's called your life.
My
life. You get. And you have to make decisions that favor your life. And you have to put yourself where you put yourself in the mirror and look at that person in the mirror and say that this is a person.
Yeah.
You don't need intervention. Most of the time, we look at all the external factors. We ignore the internal factors. Right? If you have any problems from childhood, traumas, heal from them first. Running to your pastor each and every day will not solve them. Your life, solve your problems. If you are a drunkard, stop blaming the rampant increase of liquor stores. That's an external factor. How about you? Does it feel good to do that? I mean, it's taking responsibility of your life. Thinking, my life. It's my responsibility. It's up to me to better myself. And if you are able to put yourself, it's called you on the weighing scale, and realize benefits, the losses. And then you realize if doing this is bringing a bit of some shakiness, then you know where to correct. But most importantly, we should be improving our lives all through. We should be learning new things. Learning doesn't stop. And that is why you find someone at 50, they retire and they have nothing to do because they have no value to provide. But you realize someone can retire at 50, but they've been learning new things. So they are aware that they can actually get to engage in something else that can probably be beneficial to them. So that's a thought perspective. Most important, take responsibility of your life
and acquire new skills over and over and over. I loved, it's always that one quote. When I heard this statement, it actually changed my whole life. I think I was listening to a podcast or a show on impact theory with Tom Bilyeu. And I remember they said, talent, we all have naturally. That we all have naturally.
Yes, we have naturally.
But skills, that is what sets us aside.
Exactly.
Your ability to grow and just make sure that you are learning a skill. That is what will set you aside.
Of course.
Imagine tunaweza kuwa sisi wote hapa ni web developers, but you now understanding this talent I have, now what skills do I need to maximize on it is what will set us aside as two individuals. Yeah, but I appreciate you for just stopping by.
Yes.
And I know we are going to have another conversation together.
Of course.
Because as I said when I was starting this show, I love what you do. I think even when I reached out to you, I was just like, man, I love this for young people who also get to watch this platform. But I know where to find you on your social platforms.
Yes.
To anyone else that would want to contact you or even maybe talk to you matters business, how can they be able to get hold of you?
Well, I'm basically on social media. TikTok is Elvis W.
Yeah.
Facebook, Elvis W. Instagram, Elvis W. LinkedIn, Elvis Warutumo.
Yeah.
You can also, I have a Telegram channel for those who use Telegram, Elvis W again. And basically, if anyone wants to actually contact me, I like people who send a message on WhatsApp.
Good.
You can even call me. My number is 011-566-1135.
All right.
Yes.
Good. And again, all the best in what you're doing.
Yes.
You are a voice of reason also to so many young people.
Yes.
And for me, it's a joy to have these conversations.
Thank you so much.
Anything that is going to impact someone, anything that is going to help someone change what they've been taught before. The theme is learn and relearn.
Yes.
We are going to do it.
True.
Yeah. Shall we wind up?
Yes, yes.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Honestly, really interested in your feedback on our conversation with with Elvis, and I don't think we've even scratched the surface. There's so many things that he talks about. So make sure that you check his TikTok, especially our TikTok, because I know that's where majority of us are who get to see him. But also you can check him again on Instagram or Facebook. The handles are on your screen right now. And also if you want to contact him directly, his number is on your screen right there. He says he prefers text messages or WhatsApp. You can use the number that is on your this hand iko hapa somewhere along some, or Wakabi will put it right there. But I don't want you to forget what we've said, and I know there are so many books that we have mentioned on the conversation, so I'm going to try and pin those for you on the comment section so that you can be able to get yourself a copy. Another book that I would love to add that I've mentioned on this platform, it's A Myth, and it says it talks about why small businesses fail and what to do about it. My favorite books, of course, is Nuria, so you can go and get those books there. I love my people at Nuria for always coming through and supporting local authors, so I appreciate that. There's another book that you've heard us mention here, Unplugged. Yeah, you can be able to check Unplugged 1, 2, 3, especially if you are trying to develop yourself as a man. It's a book I love, and it's a book I highly recommend, especially for a man. That's a book that you really need to read, and it's going to guide you. No, there are 3 books, so you need to read those, and I believe they are going to guide you towards the right direction. Available at Nuria as well. And also lastly, if you would allow me to say thank you to our sponsors of today's conversation, TapTap. It's a money sending app that allows you in diaspora to send money back home to your loved ones, and they do give you the great rates. They are very fast and they are very reliable. And also I have a gift for you. If you use my promo code Lynn, you'll be able to get a bonus on the figures that are appearing on your screen. And also to say thank you for tuning in. I do not take it for granted. Continue subscribing. Remember, it's free, and it's going to make sure that our work continues getting viewed by so many people across the nations. Maybe I get to see you tomorrow, either 10 a.m. or 7 p.m. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good.